What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode of 51, Georgie Mamardashvili. Man, this guy is the thorn in my side, alongside that pre-gen of Martinelli with Arsenal, man. Honestly, my arch nemesis in this save. Heading back to today's episode, obviously draws in the last two games against Liverpool and Barcelona. Now, more games in the Premier League, where to be fair, despite those two draws, it's been a nice little unbeaten streak, and we'll try and finish up here with FC Midtjylland at home in the Champions League phase, match day 5. So, yeah, loads of games to get through today, so let's crack on with our first one. Premier League, heading into this one, playing host to Fulham right now, 4th in the table. To be fair, only a point behind Aston Villa as well. It's been a bit of a mixed start to the season, only 6 wins and 11. It's not been too disastrous. We're only 2 points behind the league leaders. First game, Marco Silva's side in East Anglia. Come on, you tractor boys. Good to have a Nafio back in the team as well. Obviously, a world-class centre-half. Might not have needed him in those last 2 goalless draws, but obviously you're better with him than without him, of course. And I think now you have to say in this team, we've got at least 5 world-class players. I mean, so Sam finds Adli, there's 1. Adli's 1. Inafio's 2, Bulka's 3, Davis is 89 overall, so you've got to say 4 now, and Dyer Emra, who we signed, is 5. You can maybe make the case as well for Christiansen at right back, but they're definitely 4 to 5. I mean, this is an incredible Ipswich Town team, and we said it in the last episode, man. If we don't win silverware this season, we won the Europa League last year, that's great. If we don't win an FA Cup, a Premier League or a Champions League, it is a failure of a season. We are that good now, and we are too good not to be winning major honours season after season. Yeah, there's no doubt about it now. You know, we are a 5-star team. We are, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the top boys in England, but also in the Champions League as well. Certainly now starting to assert ourselves with three wins in our first 4 games and only being held away against Barcelona where we should have won it. We are a big club now. You know, there's no doubt about it. I often say there's a point in an RTG where you go from, you know, decent to a world-class team. We're at that point now. So every year we should be winning, and we must be winning silverware. As Zaire Emery is denied and he drops behind for a corner. No doubt about it now. Every single season we don't win a trophy, we failed. There's Watson's delivery. It's headed up in the air. And Warren puts it over. Still only leading by 1 here in a game I've had basically full control. As I always say, never feel comfortable just leading by the 1. People can say what they like about 2-0 being the most dangerous lead, but I much prefer that than a 1-0. Oh, we'll get it as well. Bit of a helping hand and we'll take it. I always say this, like, if I've been lucky, I will tell you that. That is an incredibly lucky goal. Moses claiming it. In the last episode, we were talking about the debate between what constitutes as an own goal and when do you give the benefit of the doubt to the forward. I think when the ball's getting passed away from the goal, you can't claim that as a goal for the attacker. Clearly an own goal. Maybe in FPL, that's going down as an assist for Hassan, but I don't think it will there. 2-0 though, and that'll do it. Hassan is not going to get the credit for the assist, but he has absolutely ran the show out there today. Absolutely sublime display. His shot saved and cleared away. You know, there are a lot of games where I struggle to get Hassan at this sort of level, but then on occasion, like, he literally is unplayable, and I'm like, oh, this is why he's my big wonder kid. You know, I think about a couple of games last season when we took on Spurs and he scored a brace, and then against Frankfurt when he really steadied the ship. There's a couple of games. Got Georgie Dixon. Oh, what a bullet, where he's absolutely unplayable. And the Georgian wraps it up 3. Nothing lucky about that one, and that will do it. Ipswich Town with a win. Back to winning ways after back-to-back draws, and our unbeaten run continues as well. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We're a world-class team now, and thus every single season it is silverware or bust. Yep, no losses in 10 in all competitions for Ipswich Town, dating back to our knockout in the Carabao Cup to Leeds, following contest away in Greece, facing Olympiacos, who are winning this game, could possibly send us top of the league phase 5 games in. Heading into this one, definitely fancying our chances of extending the unbeaten streak on Ipswich Town. As Davis wins that ball back there. heading into the game. You might have seen it, you might have just missed it. I'll make sure to show his full stats come the end of the game. First 90 rated player in the save. I often say it, there's milestones in a save. That is one of them. First 90 rated player you get in an RTG. And it is... Oh, it is our club captain, who we gave the armband to after Morse's retirement, Leif Davis. Now that is when dynamic potential is working right. That's the thing. We know dynamic potential at times. It's a little bit flawed, but that's when it's working well. Davis, since the beginning of this save, has started, got Washington off the post, started the majority of our games, never puts a foot wrong. His Garner is also denied. Basically never misses a game really, and never has a bad game. I can't even remember a game where Davis got torn apart at left back, man. So for him to have developed into a world-class, now 90 overall left back, yeah, that's when dynamic potential is working correctly. You love to see it. 23 minutes on the clock. I do not know how it's still 0-0. I've dominated the game. I've had some good chances, hit the woodwork. All I've missed out there is the goal. It's just one of those. I've done all the right things, just haven't had that breakthrough. Scoring goals in this year's FC is incredibly hard. I thought it was hard last year. It's even harder this year. It's so difficult. And it's why so many of my games, if I do win, they're only by a 0-0. You've got to be ridiculously clinical now. I can't remember which version of the franchise it was. It was either FIFA 17 or FIFA 19, and I believe it was the latter. But scoring goals on that FIFA was like, I mean, it was just impossible. Absolutely impossible. And it was just crazy, you know. Like, I remember winning the title once and I scored like 34 goals in the season. And it was like, oh, it was FIFA 19 because I did it with Fulham, I remember now. But yeah, I scored, I think it was 34 or 36 goals. That's all I needed to win the title. It was a ludicrous game. And this game, like, I think the gameplay is fantastic. It's amongst some of the best I've played. But I do believe that scoring goals again it's just a little too difficult. And I'm not saying that it should be easy to the point when any time you put the shot on target it goes in, but it does feel as though the accuracy, it's never needed to be more on point than ever before. It is so tough. Yeah, I mean, it's just a couple of things I would tweak with the gameplay. Everything else is perfect, you know. Everything else is perfect. You see Davis there, 2 assists in the 12 league games plus 8 clean sheets. He never misses a game outside of the Carabao Cup. He's Mr. Consistent, man. He's Iron Man. I absolutely love him. And the stats are incredible. Physically, green all across the board. Mentally, all across the board. 94 stamina, my favourite stat, but also technically as well. He's just, I mean, literally, I really feel with these stats here, I could play him left wing, I could play him CM. I mean, he really... And at 6 foot as well, I could play him CB as an LCB. He really is just the complete wing-back, man. And this is when dynamic potential works really well. When you've got a young player who's got a little bit of potential, but you can turn him into a superstar. This is when dynamic potential is at its best. Right, let's jump into the following game and back to matters in the Premier League. Tough one as well in North London away against Spurs. We're in second right now, only 1 point behind the league leaders, West Ham United. So heading into this game could possibly go top with a win if West Ham fail to match our result. Let's get the job done at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. After 3 draws in 4, we need to go on a run of wins. Let's kickstart here. Go on and switch down. I think for me, like, again, this is what makes a save really enjoyable. Like, when you have certain players hitting certain levels that they wouldn't do so in any other save. Like, Leif Davis' potential, you know I'm a massive fan of his, but I don't think it's going to be much higher than 81, 82 overall. Yet in this save, again, we've turned him into one of the best left-backs in the world through consistent game time and good game time where he's been in form as well. I mean, that just wouldn't happen in any other save. But this is when CM saves become good, when they're, like, unique to you. Do you know what I mean? If it's the same players hitting the same overalls season after season, save after save, it's just going to get repetitive. But when you create different kind of, like, stars, that's when it's enjoyable. As Endrick did really well there. Balker makes the save and Leif will get it away. I think we've just seen another injury. Christiansen going down. And hopefully that'll just be a knock. Spurs starting off on the front foot in this game here as well. Really struggling to get out. They've got me absolutely penned. Endrick across. Alex Bainer with a turn. Balker with the save again. And it remains 0-0 for now. It's all Spurs in the early going. Really struggling to get out here. And desperately need a foothold. It's one of those where if you don't get it, you're in trouble. Hopefully just a knock for Christiansen. I like how many knocks we've had to start this season off, man. I do. It's been realistic and it's been a good early season challenge for us here. And, you know, as I know I keep saying it. Go on, Madrick. It's how the game should be. You know, you should have a lot of knocks. Not a lot of broken toes, but a lot of knocks. As Warren finds a pocket of space. Denied, but Mudryk taps in the rebound. Two big things I'll change about the gameplay, even though this one's just worked in my favour. One, reduce the amount of rebound goals. But two, make it a little bit easier to score normally when running through. Mikhailov takes it though, double M with the easy goal, but the amount of rebound goals, I both score and concede to be fair, that does need to be toned down. We'll take this one though. The Ukrainian giving us the lead. Perhaps I've got my conspiracy tinfoil hat on, but sometimes I do wonder as Endrick plays a great ball back there and the finish pass Balker makes it 1-1. Sometimes I do wonder if EA purposefully don't fix things or intentionally make one aspect of gameplay broken or nerfed so they have something to fix for the new one. Do you know what I mean? Like that way they can say, hey guys, for the new FC, for the new, you know, the new version, we fixed the problem from the last one. It's like, well, why didn't you do that from the very start? And then a new problem springs up, so then they can fix that for the new one. I don't know. Hassan through the gap. Oh, golden chance here. Can I get it to Adli? Oh, turn, touch, off the crossbar, and cleared. Still 1-0. Woodwork rattle. Come on, we can't have another draw. Got to turn this one into 3 points. Come on, plenty of time. And inside, watch the back heel. There it is. Well, I said we can't have another draw. We're not going to have a loss instead. Endrick with the finish. Looking at Bobby Charlton out there. And Spurs in front for the first time. Man, oh man. I'll say it again. I really do believe it. We have got more chance of winning the Champions League than we do the Premier League. It's just too tough. It is just far, far too tough of a division, man. Maybe others can do it, but I can't. There's George. Oh, what a turn. And there's the instant response. That is an incredible solo goal, to be fair. Corner, 12 to play. Can we win this late here? Wharton's delivery into Amine, who heads wide. I love this little animation, by the way. So dramatic. 12 to go, but I think that might have been the last chance, man. Cracking game, honestly. Really good game. To be fair, we always have a good game against Spurs. Very fun team to play. Could have joined them this summer. Decided against it. Adli! Oh, come on! Once again, to the rescue for Ipswich. Amine Adli, the superstar. Hassan in the corner. I'm not even going to go for the dagger. Just keep hold of the ball. And this is going to be a massive, absolutely massive comeback win away in North London, which again should send us top of the table so long as West Ham didn't beat Liverpool. What a turnaround. You know, I said that Spurs are like, sorry, Liverpool are like our main rivals in the state. Now, Spurs have got to be up there as well. We always have a really, really good contest against them, man. That was fun, that was tense, that was goals galore, and in the end, once more the hero, Amine Adli. Where would we be without this guy, man? He's just ridiculous. World-class elite striker. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about Leif Davis now becoming 90 overall, and dynamic potential kind of serving him brilliantly there, as we'll see the injury for Christiansen. I mean, if Amine Adli didn't have those injuries, it's just a sprain for Victor. But you see, again, I like this though. This is what it should be, man. Like seriously, those you know 2 to 4. We don't get 2 week injuries. It's either 5 days or 4 weeks. There's no gap. But that's what it should be, man, for a team like ours playing so much football. But yeah, if Adli didn't have those injuries, he would definitely be 90 overall. The only reason he stayed where he is because he's missed so many months of football since he signed. We're really over the past 2 years due to the injuries. Right, heading into this one then. Biggest game of the season so far, and it's not even close. Yep, playing host to The Dynasty, who had their title separated last year after Arsenal dethroned them, but they're back on top for this year, and we knew, even though they weren't champions last year, and they had a very rare off year, they'd be back amongst it this season, and they are top on goal difference by a single goal, heading into this one. The only way we leapfrog them is with a win. A third of the way through the season, incredibly tight at the top, but these guys are in pole position. Man City at Portman Road. Come on, it's switched down. Yeah, come on. This is a ridiculous team. It's gotten even better than the one it started off as. So that's going to be a pen on Ben Johnson, bringing down Bradley Barcola. They're just, honestly, Dynasty, man. They can have an off year, but they're never going to disappear. Oh, how cheeky is that? Go down 6 minutes in through you know who. Too good. Yeah, when you're competing against Manchester City, you can definitely make the case for the Champions League being easy to win in the Premier League. Oh, it's a brilliant one too. And that's going to be 1-1. Oh, wow. Pablo Maffio does really well. Ben Johnson gets a shot away. Emerson with the easy save. But the injury for David Washington, part of that moment too. I think that would just be a bruise for our number 9. But game's starting off at a great pace here. Really good beginning. And definitely more chances tonight. I guess I could tone down the injury sliders slightly. And I mean very, very slightly. Because it does feel as though I'm getting an injury every single game. But I'd rather this than no injuries at all, as Foden is denied. And Johnson, you got to win that. Well done, mate. Good tackle. 38 in, still down by 1. If there's going to be a second goal, you put it on Man City, doubling their lead. It's been a... Oh, as that header goes just wide. Tough first half. Yeah, I do wonder if we'll ever have a better chance to win the Premier League title, to be honest. I mean, the only year where we've seen Man City struggle, and we may not see them struggle again, you know, not like last year anyway, where they were literally never in the title race last year. I don't think we'll ever see that again. You know, we might see them having to come from behind to be in a title race. We might see them having patches of poor form, but I don't think we'll ever have another season in the save where they're literally not even in it. For the whole season, they were practically not even in it. I don't think we'll ever see that again. The one is he onside there? The one chance we had as Foden is denied. And unfortunately, as good as we were, Arsenal were better. Yep, honestly, I am very, very tempted to just say, forget the Premier League. Sod it, we're never going to focus on it ever again because we just can't win it. There's just too many good teams, and as good as we are, we're just not able to do it. With these guys back on track once again after a rare off year, forget it. We'll forfeit it year after year. We'll treat the Premier League like the Carabao Cup. And all we'll do every year is go all out for the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. Because the Premier League, I don't think we're ever going to win it. If it wasn't last year, it will never be. I don't know. I really don't. That injury for Washington, by the way, I didn't even see it, but I'm almost certain it was a bruise, and it was indeed. Like I said before, you can tell how bad an injury is going to be based on the animation 9 times out of 10. So yeah, David will miss this game, and he'll be back for our episode closer. But yet for our penultimate game today, travelling to Goodison, back in the Premier League. The past 2 years they were a championship side, now back in the big time, and now travelling to Goodison Park as Z-Cars players out. 3 points behind Man City now on the back of that loss, 14 games in and dropping to 4th as well. It's still incredibly tight to start the season off, so let's not be completely defeatist, but there's only one way we stick pace with Pep Guardiola's team, and that is going on a successive run of wins, which we haven't had in quite a while. Let's kickstart here, toffees away, Colin switch down. Yes, I think very soon we are going to start fielding backup sides in all of our Premier League games and saying, sod it, we can't win it, so let's just go for the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup as well, you know? Because we can't win the Premier League. It's not going to happen. And at the end of the day, like, this is life, alright? This is life. There are certain things you just can't do, you know? It's a harsh reality to have to accept at some point, but there are certain things that you just do not have the ability to go and do. Not everyone has the same ability, not everyone has the same potential. We'd like to believe that is the case, but unfortunately it's not. And there are certain things you just can't do. And I think for us, this is what we're finding out. Premier League, it's a mountain we'll just never be able to climb. Yeah, I mean, I had such big dreams when I was a kid, you know, such grand ambitions and so many things that I really wanted to do. I am turning 32 in a few weeks' time, and I'm now starting to accept that, maybe, unfortunately, as sad as this sounds, I just never really had never really had what it takes. I don't think anyone can deny, like anyone that knows me personally would say I've certainly put a shift in. I've certainly tried hard. Which is what makes it hurt so much more. But unfortunately, I just don't have what it takes. Oh, that's got to be at least a booking. And yeah, I think I've just started to realise that now. I just don't think I'm good enough, as simple as that. Yes, we'll win a free kick right on the edge. Georgie standing over. I'm going to give it to Leif, though. Davis, who scored a class one a couple of years ago. Go on, skipper, I need you. I need you. Yes, come on! He's 90 rated, you know. And it's his second free kick goal to save. And that's, I think, my fourth, isn't it? My fourth one. Oh, class. Can wrangle the away fans now. I think that's my fourth for the save, that. Well, one thing I'm getting slightly better at is free kicks. I'll never be great at them, but I'm getting slightly better. It's like when you're younger, you know, like I remember, I mean, I've listened to like quite a lot of podcasts on this, and a common theme what you find from like really successful people is that they became successful in something which was a real insecurity for them when they were younger. And I think perhaps that's probably kind of how it was for me. I didn't really grow up in a stable household unless I really wanted love, because it was kind of like a loveless household when I was growing up. And then, you know, obviously my parents split up when I was young, but I mean, they just hated each other, like literally. They never loved each other, my parents. I don't know what on earth they were doing getting together, but seriously. And then, like, you know, it's like money. Like, we grew up really poor, so I've always wanted money. But those two things, which I've always wanted so much, it just eluded me throughout my entire life. They just completely eluded me, you know. And I don't know what on earth I'm talking about, but all I do know is that this depression is not going away. Anyway, Moses, great hustle. Adli, great save. We've completed a turnaround, but I think we're going to need another goal, man. My defense has been poor recently. I need another one. This is going to be 2-2. Neil Mapai denied. Oh, no. That is so unlucky. Come on! I always just used to think, like, what an inspirational story it will be, you know, to go and achieve, like, incredible things despite the poor start, you know, despite the disadvantages, despite the tough starts and the adversities. What an amazing story, you know. Like, one day just, you know, having really great life, you know, like, seriously, just love and a family, and you know, like a decent amount of money and my own house. What a great story. Getting the thing has been the problem. Yeah, it would be a great story if I could go and get it. Adli makes it 3-3. Carnage of a game, this. Yep, another slip up, and our season of inconsistency continues. Back-to-back games without a win. And as much as I hate to say it, even so early on into the season, I really don't think you can consider us a threat. I really don't. I just can't see us ever doing it. I am defeated. Yep, it's the other side of the coin, which very rarely gets spoken about. And why would it? Because it's incredibly negative. Every time you read an inspirational story about someone who started off from the same background as you, or had the same adversities and the same challenges, but ended up succeeding and doing really well, for that one person, there are a lot more people that unfortunately didn't make it to the other side. I'm starting to realise I'm one of the many and not the exception to the rule. Anyway, final game today. Let's try and end on a win after none in our last two and only one in our last four. FC Midtjylland at home in the Champions League phase. Match day 6 as we go for our 4th win in 6. Come on, let's switch down. 1, 2, David. Back to Zaire Emery with the offload to Ghana. We know he can strike it. I prefer it on the right foot than the left foot, really, though. So if we can get inside, he's done really well. It's a great goal. Great goal from James Garney. Footwork fantastic, and not exactly from the distance he normally lets fly from, but great little finish in Ipswich in front. Like, you know, Pep Guardiola, when he made that comment, like I said in the last episode, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I get where he's coming from. Koleosho for 2. Oh, off the post. It's worth pointing out, like, in the first season in the Champions League, this is only our second, but in the first season in the Champions League, newcomers, we got to the semis. I mean, we only got knocked out by Real Madrid. I mean, we literally got to the semi-finals of the Champions League in our first year in it. Okay, granted, we had to go through the playoff and we, won 2 of the knockout rounds on penalties. Granted, I accept that, but it doesn't change the fact that it was still a Final Four place. Doesn't change the fact that it was still a semi-final appearance as Washington goes down, and once again I think that would be just a bruise. But again, I say this, I don't mind that. That's fine. We should be getting bruises game after game. We're missing Gibbs White. I mean, we really are. He was the heartbeat of this team, man. And like I said, even approaching 30 and not growing, and Warren being the upgrade in terms of attributes. Adli, sneaks it in. He was just the energy of this team, man, and we're so much flatter without him, as is Docksy, boy. Anyway, Amine with the second, and that will do it. A return to winning ways, and again, I'm not going to say I agree with Pep Guardiola, but I think you can definitely see where he's coming from in nights like this. 2-0 points in the bag. It's been a difficult and inconsistent start to Season 6, but games like this are where I remember we still have opportunities to win silverware, even when we're feeling bleak. A 2-0 win to close the episode out against the Danes as we remain in the top 8 and undefeated 6 games into the Champions League phase. If only our form in the Premier League was that good. Even so, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return in the next episode with more big games in the Premier League. Aim to stay in this title race for as long as we can. Very soon.